Whew. What's up, guys? Paddy here, and welcome back for a. I'm gonna warn you straight away. There's not gonna be a video. It's just me talking, but it is about the next Let's Play. There's gonna be the announcement of the next Let's Play. I'm gonna tell you what the game is. It's pretty obvious, but if you didn't know, I'm gonna announce it right now. So if you're interested in that, just have a sit down, just have a listen. I'm also gonna be a bit like talking about the past and some ideas I've tried and some ideas I might be trying now, and how I really want to change the structure of this Let's Play, because honestly, and I know I said I might do this for a while, but this might be my last Let's Play, and the reason is because this is the game that made me make this channel. This is the game that made me want to do playthroughs, but I didn't want to, because there was one game I wanted to do before it, and there was a lot of like skills I wanted to build up in me before I did it. I also wanted my voice to get a little bit deeper. I know it's still high as hell, but I think this is as deep as it's gonna get, at least so it's entertaining for people to watch and it's tolerable for me to listen to. But that's this game is the whole. So I'll cut that out. I'm not at my own house. I'm at my relatives, and someone just rang their house phone thing. I can't breathe. I just had to run all over the place. What was I even on? Oh yeah, this was the whole reason why I started my channel. So I really wanted to make this one special. So I've had thoughts about it. And again, I don't know if it's gonna be my last Let's Play. Don't panic if you like me. Don't jump for joy if you hate me. But for now, it's definitely my last one. That's a bit weird thing to say. For now, I'm considering it, calling it a day after that, because, I don't know. I don't have the passion for it anymore. I do. But when I sit down and record and I just think, what's the point? I don't know. It's a bit iffy with me, and I don't know, not many people are actually gonna make it this far into the video, because none of you actually watch these videos. But it's been an interesting hobby for me, and I mean, I'm coming to the last year of something. I'm coming to exams that actually make a difference in my life, and I'm not sure if I actually want to spend time on this anymore. And I mean, it's not like I spend massive amounts of time on this, but it takes away, and I don't know if I can actually keep up with it anymore. But enough on the sad things. I will move on to the happy things. And that is that this Let's Play is being done. It is my favorite game of all time. I mean, there have been many that have occupied that space, but this game, for me, at the moment, is my favorite game that I have ever played. And yeah, you can tell by my voice, I'm young. I'm 15 next week, but I have played some of the classics. I mean, I am a great fan of Deus Ex. I love that game. I love the sequel. I don't like the sequel. I like the third game, which is a prequel. The sequel is terrible. Invisible War, terrible game. But I love the Deus Ex series, the first one and the third one. I love the Metal Gear Solid series. That's another classic. I absolutely adore that series as well. That's something I've extensively played. Wish I got to play more of it though, but I wasn't a Sony kid growing up, and well, I was actually a Sony kid growing up. I wasn't a shooter fan growing up, and now I'm not a Sony kid, so I don't have any of I don't have any of their systems. So yeah, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 4, and I won't be playing the new one with the Robo Raiden. But yeah, I also am a fan of the Zelda series. I just suck like at video games, so the little amount of skill that and the Mario games take are too much for me. So I can't play any of Mario games. I don't like Mario. I'm sorry. Shoot me. But Zelda, I did like the two games that didn't require any skill, which were Spirit Tracks and the one with the boat. The one with the boat. They're both the ones on DS. I can't think of the name of the one with the boat, but it's the prequel to Spirit Tracks. I like those games because they didn't take any skill. I'm just going on a ramble on my favorite games here. I don't even know. But I like those two games because they didn't take much skill. They just took puzzle solving. Even then, I sucked at it. But you know, it was my type of game. And I'm getting a 3DS because my eyes are abnormally crap. So I've had to wait until they've released an XL version, and I'm so glad they did. But I'm finally getting a 3DS. It will be the 3DS XL. I say as I look down at my DSi XL. I love this thing. I can't wait for my 3DS one, but that's another topic. With my 3DS XL, I'm getting Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which, oh my god, you're going to shoot me. I have not played. Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't played Ocarina of Time, so yeah, shoot me. But I'm also getting another series. I'm rambling about my favorite games here. I don't care. I'm also getting another game that I've never got to play, and that is Tales of the Abyss. I love the Tales series. I adore the Tales series. I might have taken it down by now. I probably have, but I tried to start a Let's Play Tales of Vesperia, but the voice acting, not the actual voice acting in the game. That's fantastic. But I mean, there's some silent parts, and I tried to voice act them, and I sucked at it. That's the voice acting we're talking about. But I love Tales of Vesperia. I love Tales of Symphonia. Heck, I love Tales of Symphonia too. No other game has really captured my interest. The Fantasia 2, I think there's 2 Fantasia games, are just a bit too, like, the graphics aren't good enough for me. I'm sorry, I'm a graphics. I love the looks of things. I can look past graphics, but it just, I don't know. I bet the story's fantastic, but they're just too old, hard to get a hold of, and the graphics, it turns me off a little bit. But the other one, Tales of Gracies, I think it's called, Graces, and then there's another one like Zillafolia or something. It's beginning with X. I think they're both still Japanese only, and one of them might have come to America by now, but definitely not Europe. God, Capcom hate Europe so badly, and Namco, by the way. I'm not sure. Ooh, I've got the companies mixed up. I know Capcom hate Europe, but I also think Namco hate Europe. I think they both might have done something. Bandai, two games companies. Capcom hate Europe for a different reason, and that's another game series I'm going to get onto. But Tales of the Abyss did have a PAL release on the PS2, but never came here. Never came to this little valley of Wales, and I don't understand it. But yeah, and by the time I was old enough to realise that there is a world past this little valley, the game was rare as hell, even in like all parts of the UK. And now it's like 60 quid to get a hold of it. I don't even have a PS2, I'd have to pay for one of them as well, so too inconvenient, but now it's out for the 3DS, gonna love it. And another game, Phoenix Wright. Now that is one of my favorite series of all time. That is like that's my second favorite series of all time. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, is one of the best games of our time. Like, it combines puzzle solving with humor, with story, and it's got such a good story, and it tells so many stories. It's such a great series. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed it. I've played it through like twice each game. I know it's not that much, but they're such long, and I can't do them. But they're great. I love every single moment of it. There's only a few cases that just bored me, and even the only games in that series I just couldn't play were Miles Edgeworth, because I couldn't play that game because I don't know, I didn't like it. I liked the court scenes. It broke things up a little bit. Miles Edgeworth just seemed a bit monotonous. But I loved Ace Attorney. Who doesn't? Didn't like Justice for All that much. There were more cases in Justice for All that I disliked, but I still liked the game as a whole because it's bloody Phoenix Wright. And of course Trials and Tribulations, adored, because it's freaking Godot. Who doesn't like him? I mean, he is the best character. He's one of the best, like, antagonist characters of the decade, in my opinion. Like, thinking about the game I'm about to announce, which is my favorite game of all time, there is not an antagonist in that game that makes you care as much as Godot does. So, definitely I would rank Godot as one of the best antagonists of the decade. He's not threatening enough to be the best one. I mean, when I think about it, I can't think of a good antagonist, because I think to one of the games that really does tell a story the best, and that is Deus Ex Human Revolution and the original Deus Ex. It's more of a organization as a threat to you, not as a person. And if you think of all the antagonists in Deus Ex Human Revolution, I can't for the life of me remember Deus Ex has been used. But in Human Revolution, the antagonist is like Barrett, who is a faceless ghoul. The woman who you never ever get a story to, who is the second boss, and then the snake, or I forget his real name, but the snake guy, the goon of Feiyu, I think her name is, the head of I can't remember what the clinics are called either. God, it's been so long since I played that game. But that the last boss, well, the last but one boss is also quite faceless, but he's got a bit of a character to him. I like that. And of course, the final boss has nothing to her. And I think they're all being controlled in the end. I think it's all this Illuminati um, conspiracy behind it. So I don't actually think there is an antagonist to that game. When you think about it, it's just like this corporation that's there. It's the Illuminati. It controls everything. But I think those are the series I have to mention as my runners-up for my favorite game of all time is Phoenix Wright, Deus Ex, Metal Gear Solid. Those three series I thoroughly enjoyed. I have to mention Pokemon. I know it's young. I don't care. I will mention Pokemon. That game has sucked more life out of me than any other game. I think I might have more hours played in the series that I'm about to announce than Pokemon, but I will say that in Platinum, in not so much in I started at Crystal, by the way, in case you're wondering, because I am young. You might wonder, where does this guy's Pokemon knowledge begin? Crystal. I started in Crystal. Crystal sucked. I don't know. I only played through that game once. I think it sucked about 50 hours out of my life. Ruby and Sapphire. I think I played Sapphire, and I didn't play it much. I didn't even finish the game. I finished Emerald. That took about 50 hours. I do a lot, by the way. I do train quite a bit, and I do think quite a bit, and I think I leave the game on a lot. Diamond Pearl. Oh my god, the countless amount of playthroughs. I think I've got 5 between them. Yeah, probably 5 between them. And that's probably taken at least 200 hours out of my life. Platinum, I got an exact guess for you because I've had 2 playthroughs of that. Each is ranked 120, and the one that I'm currently on is almost at 100. So that's 220 hours of Pokemon Platinum. And Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I'm currently doing more playthroughs of. I think it's only taken like 50 hours out of my life so far because I haven't played much of it. I only did 1 playthrough on each game so far, and yeah, but I'm currently in the middle of a Soul Silver playthrough right now. I'm at, I just got the 4th badge, so I'm halfway through the game. And, well, halfway through the first half of the game. But, yeah, that's gonna suck like 100 hours left of my life, and then Black White, I've only done 1 playthrough of each game so far, but I plan on doing another one before Black White 2 come out. And Black White 2 look amazing, so I will be doing lots of that, especially World Tournament. But, yeah, enough about my ranting about Pokemon. I think those are my runners-up. Metal Gear Solid, Deus Ex, Phoenix Wright, Pokemon. The obvious choices, the classics. Is there another one? I did start this recording without actually. This is going to be a long rant. Trust me, this is going to be a long rant. There will be links in the description, I hope, to show you where you need to go for each thing. I think that's it for my favorite game series. If I missed one, I apologize. I gave mentions to the classics, by the way. I know I didn't say them as the runners-up, but I did give mention to Zelda and Mario. I just didn't like them. I should give mention to Sonic, shouldn't I? I should give mention that Sonic's one of the classics. Why didn't I play that? Because I was a Sony kid, and I didn't like most of the Sony games. So I was pretty much like the kid who had the PlayStation and like played the really shitty third-party games. So I did play Sonic as a kid. I played a GameCube game, and I don't know the name of it. I played the GameCube game. I liked the game. It took quite a bit of my life away. But the game that sucked my life in that period of my life was Pokemon Colosseum. So I can't, not Colosseum. Yeah, Colosseum. I just finished a Let's Play of that game. I still don't know the name of it, but that's what sucked my life at that point. So I can't say I did much of that. Other than that, I can't think of any more classics that I haven't mentioned. I probably am forgetting some classics. I'm sure there's some game buffs out there that can tell me, hey, you've missed so-and-so game that was hailed as a classic. I mean, I guess I should probably mention Grand Theft Auto is a big classic that I haven't mentioned. Not my type of game. I'm sorry. There's not much more to think about. It's just not my type of game. I did like Red Dead Redemption though, so that's there to play around with, I guess. Aside from that, I think I've mentioned all my favorites. Alright, it's time to get on to the big reveal, so let me just get a notepad document out here. Alright. 15... Let's just say 16 minutes. Okay, so at 16 minutes, Yeah, alright. Let's just get on to the announcement of the next Let's Play. And it's pretty obvious, but for those who haven't guessed, my favorite game of all time is the 2010 work Fallout New Vegas. Dun dun dun. Yeah, of course. It's Fallout New Vegas. I've ranted, I've raved, I've torn so much into that game. I think it might have single-handedly sacked the last 2 years of my life. Just the most. You can't not play it for longer than like 3 months. I have consistently gone back to it every time a new DLC gets released, and I think it's probably like there's a period when it came out, I played it, then I stopped, then I picked it back up again, then I stopped, and then the DLC came out. And in between every DLC, I pick it up once for a playthrough for some reason, and then I stop, and then like the same distance from the last DLC to the first playthrough is the same distance from the first playthrough to the next DLC, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to build a picture here where there's 2 DLCs, and in between that DLC is just a random playthrough I do. So I got like 3 playthroughs for 2 different reasons. So it's just, I'm trying to explain to you why I play the game so much. But after the last DLC came out, and there was a lack of consistent who was coming up next, the intrigue, I still played the game because it's too good not to. It's such a fantastic title. It tells such a deep story in such an interesting way with care about characters. It's not an expansive and interesting world as Fallout 3, but it feels like every character goes into detail more. And that's what I prefer about New Vegas to 3. It's like 3 had a much more interesting wasteland, but character A is never going to go any deeper than this man who says 1 or 2 pieces of dialogue. And that annoyed me, because it seemed like they had built such an expansive and explorative world with fantastic quests, but there were some things that just weren't meant to be there. And I think New Vegas has a slightly smaller map. I heard somewhere it might be bigger, but there is a giant mountain in the middle of it, so I'm not entirely sure if that's true. But everything is there for a reason, and that makes me happier. It does, because I look at it and I know if I want to, I can go deeper into it. And it definitely is a better experience for me. Every time I play it, I will look for deeper meaning, and guess what? I will find it. It is one of those games that tells me a story, and tells me a different story every time I do it. And it is too good not to play. And it's one of those, it's a really good game. And I don't give a shit about the shooting mechanics at all. Like, I don't care. Do not care. The story is all I care about. But the shooting mechanics are solid. They're not brilliant. They're solid. They work. They're okay. But that's something I think they can build upon in the next iteration with the Skyrim engine, is more fluidity to it and less bugs. Oh, for God's sakes, the bugs. It's not perfect, but it is my favorite game of all time. And let's play number 5. 5 will be Fallout New Vegas. So, and obviously, Dead Money, such an atmosphere. I think it's Dead Money is the first DLC, by the way. I went on a bit of a rant there. It's such a masterclass in how to create atmosphere, but it is such a masterclass in how to piss people off. It is one of those DLCs that will piss you off, but you will feel the way they want you to feel. You will feel isolated, sometimes you will feel scared, sometimes you will feel alone, and most of all, you'll drool through it. It is a grueling environment, and the city eats away at you like the story goes, and it does what it says on the tin, and I think that's what the DLC, I think that's what you could print on the Dead Money DLC as its slogan. Does what it says on the tin. The city will eat you, basically. Honest Hearts gives the crafting much more meaning, and it tells a lush storyline in an environment you usually wouldn't see in a Fallout universe. I don't like it as much, but it does give crafting a new meaning, and it tells a very nice story, especially with Joshua Graham. a story. It links back into the main game, and it goes deeper into another story. See how this all links? It goes deeper into the myth that you heard, and it's well, it's worth it basically. But it's not. It's probably my least favorite DLC, just because although it didn't piss me off as much as Dead Money, it didn't have the same effect, and the other two I just adored. Now on to my favorite two, which are Old World Blues, which is my favorite DLC, but it's the third one that they released, and it was, oh my god, it just gave me what I wanted out of Fallout's mechanics. Like, if the story wasn't enough, it gave me what I wanted in the mechanics. It gave me lots of buildings with story, a boss, and loot. That's all I want in a Fallout game. Story, a boss, and loot. That's it. That's honestly what I want. Story, bosses, and loot. That's all Bethesda need to create in the next Fallout game, and I will be happy. Give me dungeons with story, bosses, and loot. I will repeat that. Story, bosses, and loot. For those of you who haven't gotten annoyed already. It also gives a lot more meaning to the crafting system, and it just creates such a lush environment. The base it gives you is fantastic. The industriality of it is a complete antithesis to Honest Hearts, and it's a really nice change, because it shows and it gives you a history again, and it's a storyline you didn't know, but once you read into it, you will realize the relation of the main game. Lonesome Road. I have to say this is an interesting one, because the mechanics didn't. I think I'd liken it to Dead Money, except it didn't piss you off. It just made you. A bit tired. I think it did what it meant, and that's a long, gruesome road where you'll use lots of your stim packs and lots of your ammo, and at the end of it, you'll get a nice story, and you'll get absolution. I think that's something I got at the end of Lonesome Road that I was looking for 2 years was absolution. I felt like the game was done, and I think I didn't feel like that when I finished the main game. And when I finished Lonesome Road, I felt like I had done something that I could leave. I felt like the story had wrapped itself up. I felt like I had a big climax. I felt like it had a big climax, and then I felt like it calmed down reasonably enough, and we had a conversation, and there was a conversation that wrapped a lot of stuff up and sent you on your way, and you felt like you had an impact on the world, and you felt like, alright, this is my story. And I think it was one of those things where it wasn't a big revolution in story, it wasn't a big revolution in game mechanics, but it needed to be there. It was one of those DLCs that needed to be there, and it gives new meaning to the story. And after you complete Lonesome Road, I think completing Lonesome Road gives you absolution, but I think after you complete Lonesome Road, you get a lot more satisfaction from the actual ending of the game. So I do believe Lonesome Road was the DLC that needed to be there, and I think it impacted the game in such a positive way that I do appreciate it being there. It's not my favorite DLC by any means. I drank it second, but it's nothing but positive on the game. I have nothing negative to say about it. It did what it needed to do, and it was very good at it. Now that I'm done rambling about my game selection choice, and I'm at about 24 minutes 40, just to give you guys a link to this. I'm writing these down so I don't have to do it later. Oh, these times aren't right because I'm cutting shit out, aren't I? Yeah, screw it. But now I want to talk about some mechanics of my videos that I haven't done in the past, and that I want to. Well, I have done in the past sometimes, but I want to do it now. And the way I want to create this Let's Play is I want it to be pre-recorded. Okay, I'm gonna pre-record it, I think. So that means there's gonna be a big delay. I'm not gonna come to you guys for a while. I might come back and I might finish this over the summer and upload it throughout the school year. It might actually take that long, as big as that game is. But I wanna create a piece of content, and I've said this so much to Joel, who is Hybrid Theory. I think that account's shut down now. He's on my other channel's box, hybrid something, and he's my real life friend. I talk to him a lot about YouTube. Well, I used to. And I said to him I've said this to him a lot. And I want my videos to be a piece of content. I don't want them to be a YouTube video. And I think where I made the distinction is interaction with YouTube. Where I made the distinction is doing things that you would see on YouTube rather than just creating a piece of video that you are proud of and that is high quality. And I think the one thing that I wanted to do to bridge the gap is stop asking for likes. Because when you ask for likes, you take the viewer out of the piece of content and you put them into a YouTube video. And to me, that takes away from the experience. Because they're no longer watching the experience of the video or the piece of content. They are watching a YouTube video that is a consumerist market. That is, they are watching this, they are using their time up to benefit someone else. And I don't at all disagree with asking for likes. Because if you run a YouTube channel that you want to have YouTube videos and you want to have a growing marketplace of subscribers who watch content and in return they give you views, and every 1,000 of them gives you money and give you likes to improve that view to money ratio, that's fine. That is your growing business model. But for me, I don't make any money, so why should I ask things from my subscribers? They're here because they want to be, and they don't give me anything. So I want to put on a show that I have an audience for rather than consumers. I want you to be an audience, not... I think I've just summed it up in my own head. I want you to be an audience, not consumers. And I think there is a difference there. Because people who make money on these videos are using their subs as consumers. That is fine. But I don't want to do that. I want to have a content that is isolated from YouTube. Because one day, maybe it's not going to be on YouTube. Maybe one day I will release it somewhere else. Probably not. It's a gaming video. It's probably not high content for any higher marketplace. But even... I want to isolate it. Because I don't like interacting with YouTube, because it's a passing medium, and things that are current might not be relevant in the future, such as the thumbs up, thumbs down. I mean, it doesn't take away that much, but what if in the future it's back to the star system and he's like, what, thumbs up, like, who's this? I don't know. It just, to me, it treats you like consumers and you're an audience. And although you're a very interactive audience, you directly influence whether I am successful or unsuccessful in this venture. It is still an audience, and I want to entertain the audience and keep them in a realm of the experience that is the piece of content. And to me, that means stop asking for likes. And I tried to do it from the start of Skyrim, but I failed. I am going to spend the summer perfecting these videos. I want every single video to be a piece of content that I am proud of, that I am willing to release to you guys. And to me, that means stop asking for likes. Another thing, I don't want it to be a cut-off at the end of the video. I don't want me to be in the middle of something. Alright, let me breathe, because I just had a massive rant. I don't want to, alright, let me start the whole conversation again. I don't want the video to cut off. Like, I do try my best to end the train of thought, to find the end of my train of thought before I cut the video into another segment. But I want the whole video to flow. I want it to be a piece of content. I don't want it to be a simple video. I don't want to have a session that's chopped up and just given to you as just videos. I want it to be a nice, watchable, audience performer type thing. Piece of content. And for that, I think I need to have a start point, and I think I need to have an end point. And so, the way I'm going to do this is, I'm going to do 40 to 60 minute videos. And if you cannot watch that, there will only be 3 of them a week. It'll be Monday, it'll be Wednesday, it'll be Friday. There will be times in the description to certain parts of the videos. I'm hoping I can get it set up so that in the description I will have times to quests. So, for example, spoilers for anyone who's really interested in the first 3 quests of the game. I could have Ain't That a Kick in the Head, which would be the start of the game, and then I could have God, I can't even remember the quests, but yeah, no, I can't remember them. But the one where Sunny teaches you, and you go out and hunt the geckos, basically. I'll have that quest. I'll have a time to that. So that's probably 20 minutes. And then I'll tell you at 30 minutes, this is when I start the next quest. So if you want to split it up, you can. But I want to have a piece of content out there on a Monday, on a Wednesday, and on a Friday that can be watched from start to finish, and you can sit there and you can get yourself immersed in the experience without, at some point randomly, me just going, alright, so we'll go into this door. When I go into the door, the video ends. That's not a suitable ending for me, and that's not a piece of content I'm proud of anymore. And because I'm pre-recording, I can afford to do it long, and I can afford to be precise with it, and I can afford to have a start point and an end point. And I think I'm going to start doing that because I need to God, I can't get words out. I need to start becoming a better broadcaster if I'm going to continue doing this, and that is one of the things I want to work on for this Let's Play. Whew, okay. One last thing to get to, guys, it's alright. The final thing is, I want the viewer to be able to miss a few episodes, come back, and feel like they're in the experience. Now, again, if you just clicked on, say, part 32, I'll just make a random thing of Fallout 3. I don't even know if that part exists. I'm sure I got past part 32. But let's just say you randomly clicked on part 32 of Fallout 3. And I just opened the video, say we use the example I previously used. I had been walking through the door, and then part 32 begins with me coming out of the door and saying, alright, let's go here. You don't know what here is. You're not in the experience, you're not immersed. And what I want to do is I want to create a system, and I tried it and it was corny and it didn't work, but I want to try and create a system that at the start of the video there is a quick, like less than 2 minutes I hope, recap of the important things related to the video ahead. And for those of you who want an idea of how I did this last time and how it failed, I would go to, now listen to this, part 11 of Fallout 3, part 11, which was, what I did was a journal entry, where I was saying, I am Richter Van Houten, I escaped the vault, there was this curious woman named Moira. I don't want to do that, because I suck at voice acting, for one thing, and I'm crap at storytelling, because I'm a kid, I'm this kid, I don't sound appealing to people, like, I'm not Cave Johnson, or, and I can't even think of any epic narrators here, or, I can't even think of any epic narrators, but, I'm not someone like that whose voice makes people want to listen, and, because of that, I can't sit here and say, this is what happened last time, and I expect you to listen to me. I can't even expect to show my funny moments. What I need to do is I want to show the game's funny moments, and to do that, not funny moments, but game's crucial moments. And to do that, I will use game audio to do it. I will use game clips to do it. A little short segment showing what happened in the last part, and I think I can get away with it simply because the videos are really long. Like, if I have a 60-minute video, then I think a 2-minute little recap isn't that bad, especially if I have a link down the bottom in the description to the end of the recap. I'm hoping you'll see it the same way. Again, this is open for suggestions. This is a really big video talking about a lot of stuff. Please, if you made it all the way through here, just tell me. What do I do? I'm open to suggestions here because you guys are viewers, and you guys are smarter than me when it comes to creating content, because you know what you want to see. Would you mind that? Would you mind, like, long videos that are split up into little parts if you want to see them? Like, not little parts as in little videos. I mean, down in the description there's little links to little to times in the videos where the next section begins. And also the little recap thing. Just to get you more immersed. Say, if you come in on part 11, you don't feel like watching at that point, it'll be 10 hours. 10 hours of content. Do you really want to sit through that? If you don't, if you're not that type of person, then just would you prefer to watch 2 minutes of a little recap of what's important in this specific video? I think that would be best for everyone. And I don't know. I'm also thinking, what if I start a new quest halfway through that's on a different storyline? Would you guys be open to me doing a different recap? Like if me saying, okay, I'm gonna start this quest now, bam, into another recap, and the phone is ringing again. I really wonder if you guys can hear that. One second. I want to check it's not someone important, but I think this video is pretty much over anyway, so thanks for watching, and please give me some suggestions. Peace out.